Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 132 and tell I'm a YouTube millionaire. And for this one, I'm actually going to read directly out of my journal. This essay, if you will, you can call Exceptions Make the Rule. Rules make the exception. Exceptions make the rule, and rules make the exception. For there is no rule without exception, and there is no exception if there is no rule. This, upon first pass, seems to not only be true, but wholly axiomatic. It is the exceptions in breaking the rules that require the sufficient grace of Jesus, which is to say, accepting his authority to properly judge your actions, better than we may ourselves, for a greater purpose, the greatest plan. For you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. A direct quote from the Bible. Take the sin of being an exception with the grace of being forgiven for it. In my secret space, the quietude of my silent prayers, where God and I can share dialogue with one another, there I can tell him that I am an exception, and he can say back to me, smiling, "My grace is enough," just as he did with the Apostle Paul. This room of waiting is not simply to give time for that special woman to build up confidence to be with me, so that I may know her. She needs to talk to me. But also for me to fully absorb and accept the fact that I am an exception. I am a champion, after all. I'm going to say that. These last few years, in my unrelenting striving, my ceaseless efforts, regardless of the success or failure, has been me trying to prove to myself that I am an exception, that I am worthy to call myself such a thing. For a multitude of reasons, I am. But now, the question of whether it is too late or not, and if I missed my chance, I do not know. I can't know. But God does. Let us wait and see in my room of waiting. This is a great rub in my life. To know in my heart, through my personal experiences that nobody else can experience unless they're actually in my shoes, that I terrify women. And to know that there's not really anything I can do about that. To not want the divestiture of yourself into multiple individuals, but know that if you're to get what you want otherwise, love, romance, that it is a necessity, it is required, because you're simply too much to handle on your own. The fact that the woman I'm thinking about simply won't talk to me, won't respond to me, is evidence enough of that fact. I know I'm intense, but so is she. So I'm willing to accept what God cannot tell me, but what he can give me. He cannot tell me that I am an exception, but he can give me grace in the same way that he gave it to Apostle Paul for certain things that he was doing that he could not bring himself to stop doing. And he, in his heart of hearts, believed it wrong. When it comes to those kinds of things, I think I know what he was doing, but I'm not going to elaborate on it right now. They really are truths of error. Those do exist. In that, like I was saying in my last video, medical assistance in unaliving does not jive with this reality. If the reality comes in the future where we live indefinitely, then MAID could be a thing because we're deciding when we want to finish our lives. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could. So those truths, at least in some way, shape, and form, are truths of error. That's what that means. It's context. And while what I want to do, or don't want to, but know that this is the only way, does not jive with this reality or even my genetics, if I want to survive, I have to do it and accept God's grace. Again, you guys haven't been in my shoes. But suffice it to say, and I'm honored for the opportunity to fight this battle for God. Honored, truly. But suffice it to say, it's been a hell. It has been hell. Lots of people that really don't like me, for reasons that consciously I have no clue as to why, have been ceaselessly attacking me in my life. It has not stopped to this day. And until those dark forces are gone, either evicted from this planet or entirely erased from existence, period, it's not going to stop. You guys haven't lived in my shoes. You haven't walked in my shoes. You haven't seen the things that I've seen. You haven't gone through the things that I've gone through. There are places where I've already flexed. Many, 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 in fact. Been flexible. Where I didn't want to be. And here's another one where I don't want to be, and am finally willing to try. And it might just be too late. If the woman won't talk to me, what does it matter? I don't know. I got myself in a state of brooding right now. Sometimes it just all collapses on you all at once, and you just... yeah. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, guys. I'm not old, but I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Anyways. Just being raw with you, being honest with you. Love y'all. Peace.